Welcome back to The Details alongside Brett Taveau, author of Unpacking Greatness, a Chiefs book you can find on Amazon. Brett, the longest postseason drive in Kansas City Chiefs playoff history, 98 yards, authored by Chad Henne. So we're going to go over the Chad Henne drive, and pretty amazing what he was able to do to step in for the Chiefs when they really needed him against the Jaguars.
Yeah, you can win a lot of money on answering that trivia question right here in 10 years if that's ever asked, because you would think he would be way down the list if you were to ask who was the engineer of the longest postseason drive in Chiefs history. But yeah, we saw pretty incredible stuff.
We're going to get to three plays here. Starting with the first one, might have been the most interesting one here because the Chiefs, backed up on their own 2-yard line, they throw this pass. And so that was probably an indication right away that the Chiefs were going to trust what Chad Henne was going to do.
Yeah, I couldn't believe it. I would have bet a lot of money that they were just going to run the ball, try to get some space, come out of the end zone, try to get to, the 3 or 4 yard line, and then maybe try to get something, a short pass on second or third down. But yeah, this is a concept of why stick. And I had seen a tweet. I can't remember where I saw it, but that, Jesse, you may be able to provide a little bit more depth to this, that, Andy has his plays for each quarterback where they're most comfortable with. They have their Friday meetings, Saturday meetings, whenever they take place, and the quarterbacks kind of prioritize, hey, here's what I like. And then he, would tailor the calls to what the quarterback's comfortable with. And I guess this was one of them.
Yeah, so we see here trip set for the Chiefs. And what's interesting here, I guess you start him off with something not only he likes, but sort of an easy read when they play zone man or zone coverage here. And so this is what the Chiefs get to, and this is how they get Travis Kelce open.
Yeah, so this is a Y stick, and this is an old West Coast staple, and I'm sure he's been running this all the way back to his days at Michigan, even or before. They're going to clear the corner out with the number one receiver on this fade route, and then stretch this nickel player here horizontally, with a speed out and then a stick route.
Yeah, so we've got the animation here. He's got to cover both these guys. You've got him going up against Kelce here and or Justin Watson here. Can't be in both places at once. So this is what Chad Henne is reading. And, of course, the vision there, once he sees him break outside, he knows he's going to have Travis Kelce.
Yeah, so he's, as you said, he's basically reads the intent of that defender and kind of sees, both routes in his peripheral a little bit as he kind of keys in on that defender and is able to hit that stick route and to give the Chiefs some space.
Good start to it. And I think one of the most interesting ones to me that happened on this drive, this is the benefit you get from having a 37-year-old quarterback, one who knows the offense. I love talking to Chad Henne in the locker room because he does know all the offense. So if you're talking about Patrick Mahomes or what schemes they run, he is kind of like a dictionary when it comes to that. But this is an important play, 3rd and 3, and the Chiefs are able to get in the right look because of Chad Henne.
Yeah, and I didn't notice it as I was watching the game live. You just think of protection's blown when you see a quarterback get hit like this, but actually that's quite the opposite. The protection was executed and even checked, and I didn't realize until after talking with you after the game when you got a little bit of information here. So yeah, the Jags have 6 guys walked up on the line of scrimmage, and the play call here is a free release by Tony, who is on the near side of the field or the short side of the field, and McKinnon's going to go out. So what you have are 5 blockers and 6 rushers. So Henne has to sort out the protection and understand he's going to get hit from somewhere if all those guys are coming.
So, yeah, when the locker room talked to Creed Humphrey, talked to Andrew Wiley, showed them this video, and sure enough, it's what we thought it was or what it looked like from the beginning is that he slides his protection right and knows exactly what that means after the snap too.
Right. So this is a little bit different protection where the Chiefs usually run what's called a jet protection, where you can protect with 5 because usually you only have, 5 or less rushers coming, obviously in a non-blitz situation. But here you have to basically manipulate the protection, change the protection to where you're going to be most protected or have the defender with the longest path be the guy that's not blocked.
And we see this from the outside, but it also means Chad is checking to something where he knows he's staring down the barrel of a gun here. This player is coming at him fast and unblocked.
Yeah, so they're going to run. Their mesh return is the Kelce and the receiver at the top here. I'm not sure who that. Oh, that's McKinnon. Are basically going to run whip routes. Or they're going to run to sit and then work back out. And Tony's going to be on the wheel route here, or the rail route.
So again, looking down the barrel of a gun. There comes the guy, and Kelsey beats man coverage. You know, when they bring 6, you have 5 blockers. It's going to be man across the board. There's only so many players you can put on the field legally. So Kelsey beats his man on the outside. Again, Chad Henne knows to be able to target him quickly, and this is the angle of the view he's looking at when the guy is coming straight at him, Arden Key.
Yeah, he could have slid the protection either way and been fine. If he slid left, it just would have been the DN from the field coming unblocked. But maybe he likes that guy coming into his vision so he can at least protect himself a little bit better.
Really, really good from Henne here. And again, that's the important part of having a veteran, knowing the offense, knowing what to do, very calmly change the protection, knowing where the blitzer is coming from. And this play could be dead on arrival if he doesn't know exactly what he's doing on that particular play. Other people,
and these are
go ahead.
Go ahead. Oh, I was going to say these are the details that you don't pick up on. For him to have the acumen to go change that protection and get it to where they're able to be successful, because if the Chiefs are punting that football back, that's they're possibly able to survive it, but definitely being able to stay on the field there was important.
Other people stepped up as well, and I think we heard this from the locker room too. Offensive linemen, running backs felt like they needed to pick up the slack. So here we got the big run from Pacheco. Here's what the Chiefs did to also pick up and help their backup quarterback, which is they executed better in the run game.
Yeah, so I think they motioned Gray across to create a 6-man surface here, and this play is called a duo. It's kind of a gap zone hybrid a little bit. Everybody's going to block pretty much to the right, or excuse me, to their left, which gives it kind of a gap scheme. But instead of having you don't have any pullers here like you have in gap schemes like counter and power. But they're going to try to create as many double teams across the line of scrimmage as possible.
And this is what we've seen from Isaiah Pacheco throughout the course of this year, is that he's going to press this run, but also remain patient. I can't tell you how many times the first 3 to 4 weeks we heard Eric Bieniemy say, what can Pacheco improve on? Remaining patient, setting up his block. So he does a good job here of keeping his vision and, again, not just bowling into the line and losing his feet. He remains patient and keeps his vision up.
Yeah, and if you could just stop it right there, Jesse. Thank you. You can see the double teams taking place there. Brown, there was an edge defender that he thought may be coming, so he gets a little bit of depth, so he makes sure he can pick him up, but he sees that guy drops. So you're getting a double team with Brown and Tooney. The linebacker triggers, so Humphrey's got to get off that double team to go pick him up. But then you see Gray and Wiley have a good double team here. So you got 2 good double teams right now, and what started out as 3 double teams before that linebacker triggered.
And so we see him press the line here, and this is the double team that softens the edge. This is the one that opens things up, is Orlando Brown and Joe Tooney. They are able to seal that guy and leave this big space on the outside open for Pacheco.
Yeah, and you and I had looked at some Pacheco runs. I don't remember if it was in the preseason or earlier in the season, but he, really didn't trust and have that patience. And I think this, is another example of his growth, that he pushes into the line of scrimmage. And what he does is he forces this safety here, as you can see, to fit inside. And once he bounces, that safety is out of position.
One other assist I want to point out, we watch Gray on the backside. We talk about finding work all the time. I love that phrase when you talk about finding work. He helps with his double team, but then just peels this guy off the edge. And without that, he might catch Pacheco here from the backside. Instead, he gives Pacheco that one step to get going, his 20.8 miles an hour, I think it was, to the outside. But again, small details making a big difference on this run.
Absolutely.
All right. Well, the Henne thing is possible drive is what we broke down here. Any final thoughts, Brett, from the Henne drive that, might have been part of saving the Chiefs season? Without him going in there and doing what he did, the Chiefs might not have had the same result they did, 27-20 over the Jaguars.
No, I think just from a final thought standpoint, I think it just speaks to the culture that's there within the locker room, that, he's prepared. Like I said, he hadn't played a meaningful snap. I guess, was it the Cleveland game? Was that his last meaningful snap, the Cleveland game 2 years ago?
I know he completed no passes this season before this game.
Okay. But just to have him feel so confident and so prepared in that situation, again, I think just speaks volumes to, the culture and the process that they have in place.
Gonna wrap it up for the details. For Brett, this is Jesse. Be sure to tune in for another episode next week.